Good morning. Everybody can hear me all right? Okay. Good morning. A warm welcome to all of you here today at First Universalist Church. My name is Debbie Woodbury, and I am a worship assistant on our worship council. I'm glad to be greeting you here this morning, whether you are here in the sanctuary or joining us on Zoom. Hillary and Gwen are away this weekend, but will be back next week for our special blessing of the animals. We know you come here for different reasons, to find community, to seek your spiritual and personal truths, to question, to nurture your heart and soul, to explore new ideas, to find comfort, or perhaps to find the answers to some of life's big questions. At First Universalist, our mission is to explore our faith, embrace this community, and to engage the world as spiritual seekers. Each and every week, we take these words to heart. For those of you joining us with young children, nursery care is available during our service for babies and toddlers. Our nursery is located out that side door and down the hallway to the left. You will notice that you have a salmon-colored connections card in the pew in front of you. This is intended for new people as well as first you attendees, regular attendees. You can sign up for things like Family Dinner Church, which is happening on October 10th and is so much fun. Just fill out the card and drop it in the offering plate when it is passed later in the service. You can take a look at the announcements in your order of worship today to see some of the other exciting events and happenings going on at this church. One of the items that did not make our written announcements this week is to let you know that in the back of the church, on the table in the back of the church, there is a written sermon called Days of Awe, for the Days of Awe, written by our own divinity student, Jovi Shearer King, called Seeing God. Because we have two guest speakers today, Jovi's sermon is only available in writing, but you might want to take a look at it after church today. In her sermon, Jovi takes us from the innocence of a child's question to the question of human responsibility. Through the imagery of mountains, this sermon invites us to see the eternal in the fabric of our lives, in both hardship and joy. And in this season of awe, she calls us to extend that vision outward, to recognize God's presence in the faces of the stranger and the immigrant, reminding us that true faith is lived through justice, mercy, and welcome. So you're welcome to pick up a copy at the end of the service. Following our service today, you are all invited to coffee hour, our time of friendship and fellowship, which is downstairs in the gathering room. You will have the opportunity there to meet our guest, Marjorie Hankla from the Immigrant Legal Advocacy Project, who you will be hearing from later today, and Philip Patassin from State Street Mission. They will be available to answer any questions you may have about their organizations. And now, I invite you to take a deep breath. And to settle into this time of worship together. Our music director, Sam Chandler, and the strummers will lead us into worship.
I feel a ripple in my heart, I feel an opening, singing welcome, welcome, welcome. I feel a ripple in my heart, I feel an opening, singing welcome, welcome, welcome.
One come, all come, many. There are no locks upon this cage. There's room for all, there's plenty. Time to breathe and celebrate.
I feel a ripple in my heart, I feel an opening, singing welcome, welcome, welcome. I feel a ripple in my heart, I feel an opening, singing welcome, welcome, welcome. I feel a ripple in my heart, I feel an opening, singing welcome, welcome, welcome. I feel a ripple in my heart, I feel an opening, singing welcome, welcome, welcome. I feel a ripple in my heart, I feel an opening, singing welcome, welcome, welcome. I feel a ripple in my heart, I feel an opening, singing welcome, welcome, welcome. I feel a ripple in my heart, I feel an opening, singing welcome, welcome, welcome. I feel a ripple in my heart, I feel an opening, singing welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you, strummers. That was awesome. All right. And to call us into worship today, Larissa Sellers, Joe V, and I will read the poem entitled We Are Verbs, a poem for the days of awe by Blaise Ardman. This poem honors the sacred time between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur that is focused on deep reflection, prayer, and repentance. I asked God what I can do to improve myself and the world. The source of consciousness blessed me with an answer.
Remember, God said, that I am becoming what I am becoming, as are you. Know that from each fresh moment to the next, you are born and reborn again.
We are verbs, you and I, said God. Kindness is a verb. When you do kindness, you give wings to hope.
Compassion is a verb. When you do compassion, you activate the energy of empathy.
Generosity is a verb. When you do generous, you raise the vibration of gratitude.
Listening is a verb. When you do listening, you awaken understanding.
Peace is a verb. When you do peace, the energy of wisdom reverberates.
Stillness is a verb. When you do stillness, the energy of faith is restored.
Prayer is a verb. When you do prayer, the energy of joy, healing potential, and return ignites.
May you be blessed to know that your seemingly small acts kindle everlasting flames of love, goodness, repair.
May you be blessed to know you are the redeemed and the redeemer. You are the blessed and the blessing. You are the lover and the beloved.
And so together, we are the unbounded light of consciousness, the unending essence of divine spark, life unfolding through eternity. May you so be blessed.
And now, please stand as you are able, or rise in body or spirit, to sing hymn number 361, Enter, Rejoice, and Come In, that you will find in the hymnal in the pew in front of you.
One, two, one, two. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Open your ears to the song. Open your ears to the song. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Open your hearts, everyone. Open your hearts, everyone. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Don't be afraid of some change. Don't be afraid of some change. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come
And now please remain standing to recite our unison affirmation, which is in your order of service. We are united in seeking to increase love with justice and to constitute a free church open to all people, mindful of our past and drawing upon modern knowledge. We respond to the spiritual needs of persons and are devoted to the common good in community, nation, and world. We cherish the integrity of each individual and search for truth with reason as our guide. We respect differences of opinion and strive to be a democratic community. We are concerned with this world and open to the future. You may be seated. Okay. Are there any children out there who would be willing to come up here and help me light our chalice? I could really use some help. Thank you, thank you. Come on up. Anybody else want to come up and help? Come on over. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. Good morning. Do you all know how to do this? Do you know what to say? What do you say? What do you say when we light our chalice?
Light the chalice, peace and friendship.
All right. So.
Light our chalice in peace and friendship.
If you want, if you want, you can come up. I'm going to teach you a new way of prayer or meditation. It's called the 5-finger prayer. There are many ways that people choose to pray or meditate. It could be going outside. feeling in touch with nature, taking deep breaths, or sending loving kindness to those you want to think about or who may need it. And this prayer or meditation is called the 5-finger prayer. It can be done just with your hand, and you are going to put your thumb right in the center of your heart. Nice job, okay? And we're going to start with our thumb, and our thumb is going to symbolize those who are closest to us, our friends and our family. So I want you to take a second and think about those who are in that close sphere, friends and family, maybe a specific friend or family member who might need some love and kindness. Take a deep breath and think of that person. And then our second finger, right after our thumb, is those who direct us, okay? That could be coaches, that could be teachers, that could be a role model, parents, those who lead us in our circle. Take a second and think of someone who directs you and wish them some love and kindness. Take a deep breath. Now our tallest finger, our finger in the middle, stands for those who are higher, those who are in higher power, perhaps our world leaders, our elected officials, right? People who have a say in our worlds, right? Who are in more of a higher position of power. Maybe we have a wish for them, for our community, for our world. Take a second, think of a wish you may have for those who are leading us. Take a breath. Could be the president, could be. And then our second to last finger, that stands for areas of weakness, or those who we can think about who are in our most desperate need, right? Perhaps people who are experiencing hunger, or experiencing being unhoused, or experiencing war. Let's think of those people. Those who need our love and kindness the most. Take a deep breath. Send a message to them. And then our last finger is our pinky finger, and that represents us. That's ourself, right? Our last people who deserve love and kindness, that is us. Think of something that you may need, or something that you're proud of yourself for, or something you maybe want to be gentle to yourself about. Okay, so take a second, think about yourself, think of something that you want to say to yourself. Take a deep breath. And let go. If at any point in the day you're thinking, I got to connect back to myself, think about that 5 fingers. We have close, direct, higher, weak, and us, self. Today we have Children's Chapel happening. We have Junior Youth Group happening. Lots of fun activities. If you are someone who is younger than 4th grade, you are going to Children's Chapel. If you are 4th grade or higher, you are coming to Junior Youth Group. But before we do that, we're going to do our children's blessing. Okay, our children's blessing, we have our little U's. We are Unitarian, Universalists, people of open hearts, loving. Wait, hold on. People of loving hearts and helping hands. It's like, with this microphone, I'm like, oi. All right. Thank you so much. I'm excited to see everybody in Junior Youth Group and Children's Chapel. Thank you for coming up and helping.
friends, we come now to the time in our service that we set aside for quiet prayer and meditation. I'm Sarah, a member of our Spiritual Care Council that supports Reverend Hillary in the area of pastoral care. And this year, members of the Spiritual Care Council will be leading our time of candles once or twice a month, especially on the Sundays when she's not here. So this can be a time to reflect on the events of your past week, look forward to what's coming up for you, to offer a prayer of loving kindness to those in need of loving kindness, or simply to be here now in the fullness of this moment. And following our time of quiet, I will ring a chime and all will be welcome to come forward and light a candle for joy, sorrow, or concern.
It is my pleasure to welcome Marjorie Hankla, the Development Director of the Immigrant Legal Advocacy Project known as ILAP. Today, she will share her immigrant story, her journey to becoming ILAP's Development Director, and her perspective on advocacy for the immigrant experience today. Thank you, Marjorie.
Thank you so much for the opportunity of being here. I truly appreciate this space. And I was so happily surprised when you mentioned like the theme for the month, the finding and belonging. And this is something very close to my heart. As you may notice by my accent, I'm an immigrant myself. I come from Brazil. And I would love to share my story with you today. We have several clients, and they have wonderful stories of resilience and opportunity here in the United States. But I'm choosing to not share them stories as well because for privacy, it's not a safe moment to be sharing their stories. But I'm happy to share mine. Well, I grew up in the smallest state in Brazil. I used to be an attorney there. I worked as an attorney for over almost 3 years and a half, but I was pretty sure that I didn't want to do that for the rest of my life. So I decided to quit and spend some time abroad. I spent 7 months traveling the world. I was very eager to see places and to do things. So I set myself a goal. I'm gonna go to as many countries as I can. So that's why I spent 2 months in South America, 4 months in Europe, and 1 month in South Asia. And then I went to 34 countries. I sleep in buses, stay in hostels. I was all the time just moving. And when I was almost at the end of my trip, when I was in Asia, I went for a date with a Mainer. And and the date was really, really good. The next day I was traveling to Bangkok. We met in Laos. And it was my last night. I just told him, well, have a nice life. I used to do that all the time. Oh, you like me? I'm going to go. I have places to go, things to see. But then he told me, no way. I'm buying a flight ticket. I'm not letting you go. I'm going with you. I had a couple of beers in my mind. I was like, whatever, if this guy wants to go. But then he ended up buying, by then, it was on the end of my trip, and then he kept buying flight tickets to travel with me, and we would travel together for 14 days. The time that I had set for me to travel was at the end, and then I decided to come back to Brazil, and then he told me, like, I'm gonna meet you there. And then he did. 3 months later, he was dropping at an airplane in a very small city that I grew up with, and I couldn't believe. He spent 3 months with me there, and then after that, he invited me to come to United States. He has this wedding to go in Seattle, and he wanted to bring me as a company, and he also told me, like, well, how about we do a camper trailer? So he had this plan to travel and do some, so he bought a Honda Odyssey minivan, 2006. He removed the benches on the back, put a bed in the middle, a kitchen on the back, and off we go. Spent 3 months living on a minivan. And after living in a minivan for 3 months, you either know if you're gonna get married or if you're gonna separate. So we got married 2 months after we finished the trip. We went over 27 states. We sleep in state camps, national parks, as well as Walmarts, and we did all the things. So it was really, really fun time. And after we got married, I applied for my green card. I did all the paperwork by myself. Like, as married to a citizen is much easier. I had this legal background, so I applied. 9 months later, I got my green card, and I started working in the customer service call center, answering calls from angry truck drivers their cars were not working. They were trying to fill up their trucks. It was a really tough work itself. I suffer a lot of language discrimination. A lot of people, when they don't see who is behind the line, they think they can say anything. So one day I was having a really bad day at work, and I was crying to my husband, like, what am I doing? And he told me, like, I don't know what you're doing for profit. You have this passion and drive to help others. Why don't you try nonprofit? I have the perfect job for you. Don't think so much, just apply for it. It would be great. And then he told me my sister-in-law, she works in another chapter of United Way. Back then was to work at United Way. And she can refer you. She can give a reference, and you can get like an interview. Because when I was applying, I couldn't even get any interview. So I talked to my sister-in-law. She was like, I don't know if this is for you. I told this back to my husband, and she's like, I don't think this is for me. But he called her, and he convinced her that I was a good fit. And he said, she's so great, she's so organized, I remember, like, I stay away from the call, but I remember the call. And then after the call, she messaged me, and she said, he's right, you would be great, I'm happy to refer you. She referred me, I got the interview, I got the job. And I started working as a fundraiser before, like, never done this before, but I started working as a fundraiser at United Way. They took a chance on me, and I'm very appreciative of that. I worked for 1 year as relationship managing, helping companies to organize campaigns, going there, do some rally around it. In 1 year and 3 months later, I got promoted to be Director Major Gifts and Stewardship, and I stayed there for another 2 years. And funnily enough, my sister-in-law, who was the person that was a little reticent about referring me to United Way, she sent the job post for ILAP, and then she told me, this is a perfect job for you. I think you should apply for it. Don't think so much. Just go for it. And then I applied for it. I thought that was the sign of the universe telling me that I proved to myself, to her, to my husband, to everybody that I was a good fit and I could rebuild my life as a fundraiser. And I don't see myself doing anything else. But then I started working at ILAP in December last year, so I'm coming to 10 months on this role, and this has been the honor of my life because I really, truly don't take it for granted, the opportunity that was given to me. Moving to another country, speaking English as my second language is not an easy thing to do, and was not easy for me. That could have the help in a family that could, help me, could refer. So I really don't take it for granted, these opportunities that they give me, that this family give to me. And they mean everything to me because I could rebuild my life. And this is the type of work that ILAP does. We help immigrants to come here and rebuild their lives and get the authorization to work and start providing for their lives and provide for their families. The importance of having a document of a permanent residency that for them means so, so much. So yeah, it's the honor of my life. ILAP stands for Immigrant Legal Advocacy Project, and we have 3 major core services. So we provide direct legal services to immigrant communities with full representations for cases that sometimes span for 5 to 10 years. And sometimes partial representations, we help them to fill out forms for asylum applications and humanitarian causes. We also have education and outreach where our organizations go to their communities to talk about their lives and their legal pathways to be in this country legally and build their lives here. And we also do a lot of systemic advocacy when we see there's patterns happening in the state. How can we make a space, this state more welcoming for our immigrant communities, and really just push better laws and fight against laws that are bad and they're harmful for our immigrant communities. I brought a lot of materials from my lab downstairs. There's the annual report that we talk about a little bit about what we do and our numbers. Last year, we could help over 5,000 immigrants in our community, and I'm so proud about that. And we have some action alerts of things and advocacy efforts that you can all be doing to help make this space, make this state a more welcome place for our immigrant communities. So I just want to kind of wrap it up saying that, you know, what you're doing here, it's beautiful. You're building community, and I'm a firm believer to, like, the community that I have here was given to me, right? I think my family my husband's family started giving my community, and I started building my community with friends. So community is something that is given to us, and I truly believe that we must give it to others as well. And that's why you're doing here too. That's why you having community here, and you also giving community to others, and open this space for ILAP to talk about our organization and talk about the work that we do. That's opening your community and giving community to us as well. So I thank you very much. I appreciate the opportunity. I'm happy to discuss ways that you can help. If you have the means, please donate. But if you can't, totally fine. There's other ways to get involved and to help, such as advocating for better laws, volunteer with our work. If we have a very limited, we offer legal help, so if you're a lawyer, that's incredible, please come volunteer with us. But there's other ways that you can help as well. And stay connected, learn about our organization more. There is a newsletter that you can sign up with and just know what is going on. There's a lot of bad stuff happening, but I thought that this is not a good, I thought about coming here to really celebrating community, and that's how I want to finish. So thank you again for the opportunity, and happy to answer any questions later downstairs or on the side. Anyways, so again, thank you.
Thank you so much, Marjorie. And please come downstairs after the service and ask Marjorie all the questions that she wasn't able to answer for you today. Our half-plate offering today will help support the work that Marjorie and her organization do on behalf of the immigrant population. And as Marjorie shared, the Immigrant Legal Advocacy Project, or ILAP, advances justice and equity for immigrants and their families through direct legal services, community education, and system advocacy. Your generosity is appreciated.
The crops are all in, and the peaches are rotting. The oranges piled in their creosote dumps. You're flying them back to the Mexican border to pay all their money to way back again.
My father's own father, he waded the river. They took all the money he made in his life. My brothers and sisters come working the fruit trees, and they rode the truck till they took down and died. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Rosalita. Adios, mis amigos. Jesus and Maria. You won't have your names when you ride the big airplane.
All they will call you is deportee.
Some of us are illegal and some are not wanted. Our work contract's out and we have to move on. 600 miles to the Mexican border. They chase us like outlaws, like rustlers, like thieves. We died in your hills and we died in your deserts. We died in your valleys and died on your plains. We died neath the trees and we died in your bushes. Both sides of the river, we died just the same. Goodbye to my Juan, goodbye, Rosalita. Adios, mis amigos, Jesus y Maria. You won't have your names when you ride the big airplane. All they will call you will be deportee.
The sky plane caught fire over Los Gatos Canyon, fireball of lightning and shook all our hills. Who are all these friends all scattered like dry leaves? The radio says they are just deportees. Is this the best way we can grow our big orchards? Is this the best way we can grow our good fruit? To fall like dry leaves, to rot in the topsoil, to be known by no name except deportees. Goodbye to my Juan, goodbye, Rosalita. Adios, mis amigos, Jesus y Maria. You won't have your names when you ride the big airplane. All they will call you will be deportees.
Thank you, strummers. And please join in singing our song of thanksgiving found in the order of your service. Stand.
I receive, to thee I give, together we share, and by this we live. From thee I receive, to thee I give, together we share, and by this we live.
And we now welcome Philip Patassin from State Street Mission in Portland to say a few words about the work of the mission there and how our church has been and can continue to be involved. Thank you, Philip.
So yes, my name is Philip Patas, and I'm a member of First Parish, UU Church in Portland, Maine. And I'm here to speak to you about the State Street Winter Family Shelter in Portland, Maine. And just to go over a definition of terms, so I'm from First Parish. The State Street Winter Shelter was a mission set up at State Street Church, which is a congregational church, or UU church in Portland, Maine. And the way the story started was simply in 2022, a very, very cold winter in Portland, the State Street Church was having a clothing drive. And it was very cold. It was a January day. Over 120 people showed up seeking warm clothing. The pastor there, Rev. Brian Briot, we'll just call him Rev. Brian, he saw these people there. And some of these people were speaking other languages. They were from other countries. And some of them were just getting off buses recently from southern states with T-shirts and shorts. And these were whole families. And he also noticed at this clothing drive that many of these families had no place to go. It wasn't just clothing. They didn't have a place to go. So he went home that day, and he's racking his brain, how can his church help? He figured, well, we've got warmth, we've got a building, we're heating this place. Can our congregation do something to help these people? And that's how it all began. That's when the seed was planted at State Street Church. First, later, the community at that church came together to brainstorm. Next came ideas like, okay, we got to send out requests for money from the state, which they got from the State Housing Authority. Then, okay, what are we going to do with the church? They ended up doing construction and reconfiguration of a certain part of the church, and they ended up cooperating with the City of Portland Family Shelter, which at that time was full and was turning people away because they had no more room in the inn. So the next thing they had to do, once they had the money, they had the configuration, eventually they ended up with a wonderful family winter shelter. They now have 4 rooms for families. Each room is maybe, I'm going to say 12 by 16 feet, and sometimes there can be 6 people in there in cots sleeping. But they have 4 bedrooms for these families, plus a place to keep some belongings. They have a commercial kitchen. They have a community room. They have washers and dryers, showers and bathrooms. It's really all set. So then the next step is, how do we man this place? We got to get volunteers, and it can't just be State Street Church. So Rev. Brian sent out a call to all the area, 15 area faith communities. And of course, Reverend Hillary and your church answered the call. And in fact, in the last year, 15 of your members volunteered at the church at various jobs, mostly chaperoning. That's what we do. So let me communicate to you what the need is. These families arrive in the evening, about 5 p.m., and they're ushered in by a greeter who's a volunteer. The greeter is there for a couple hours, and the families come in, they cook dinner quickly, they're getting their family organized, getting the kids to sleep eventually, and then eventually another volunteer comes, and that's called an overnighter. In truth, usually there are 2 of everything, 2 greeters, 2 overnighters. The overnighter volunteers actually sleep there. There are 2 like cubicles with cots, just like the cots that the these guests are sleeping in, these families. Then there's an early morning greeter. 2 early morning greeters come. They relieve the overnighter, and they help get the people going, help them with organizing the kids and getting them out. And then by 9:45 in the morning, these families have to leave. And you know, why do they have to leave? Because we don't have enough volunteers to let them stay all day. So families leave, even in the winter. And you may know what they do. They'll go to the Portland Public Library, which is closed on Sundays, but it's open at 10 a.m. So the Church Street Winter Families Shelter closes at 9:45, so they can go to the library, and they can go to some facilities where they're learning English, etc. Who are these guests? Who are these families? To date, they've been from other countries. So Democratic Republic of the Congo, Haiti, Angola. That's where these families have been so far, but any families are welcome. Let me see what else I would tell you. I'm going to be downstairs. I'll be downstairs, and I have these cards. One of our group created these cards I'll be handing out if you want. It's a QRL code. You can actually use this to sign up and volunteer. What's really going to happen is soon the State Street Winter Family Shelter is going to send emails to Reverend Hillary and the church here, because what you guys did last year, you actually volunteered a couple of weeks. So, you know, I assume Reverend Hillary is going to do this again. You'll pick a couple of weeks. The shelter opens November 17th and closes May 1st. So like with ILAP, there are a lot of interesting things I can tell you about the shelter, so I'll be downstairs and I'll be happy to share and answer questions. I wonder, is there anyone here besides Debbie who has volunteered at the shelter? You are, yeah. There's a whole number of you here. Wonderful. So I'll be downstairs, and thank you for your attention.
Hello, everybody. I would like to say before our closing hymn a blessing for the celebration of the Jewish New Year. May we be inscribed for a good year. May we learn to forgive both ourselves and others, to release the burdens we carry, and embrace compassion in its purest form. May our actions reflect the deepest truths of our hearts, and may we be found worthy of grace, life, and all the goodness the world can offer. May all of our prayers be answered, souls be cleansed, and may we be sustained in our efforts to create a more just, loving, and peaceful future for ourselves, for our communities, and for all of humanity. Amen.
And now if you could stand as you are able and open your hymnal book to number 168. One more step for our closing hymn.
One more step.
Please join me in our unison benediction, which is found in your order of service. For those who come here seeking God, may God go with you. For those who come embracing life, may life return your affection. For those who come to seek a path, may a way be found and the courage to take it step by step. And we welcome you to help us end the service by joining Sam and the Strummers in singing This Land Is Your Land by Woody Guthrie. And the lyrics are in your order of service. And look forward to seeing you at coffee hour afterwards.
1, 2, 1. This land is your land, this land is my land, from California to the New York Island, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. As I was walking that ribbon of highway, I saw above me that endless skyway. I saw below me that golden valley. This land was made for you and me. This land is my land, from California to the New York Island, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. I roamed and rambled, I followed my footsteps to the sparkling sands of her diamond deserts, and all around me the search was sounding. This land was made for you and me. Made for you and me. When the sun came shining and I was strolling, and the wheat fields waving and the dust clouds rolling, as the fog was lifting, our voice was chanting. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land, this land is my land, from California to the New York Island, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. There was a big high wall there that tried to stop me. The sign was painted, said private property, but on the backside it didn't say nothing. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land, this land is my land, from California to the New York Island, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. Thanks, everyone.